pronounce your name correctly. All right, here we are. Welcome to Unstoppable REI. I'm here with my friend here, my new friend. I just completely blanked out. JJ Azizian. Did I get that right, JJ?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
correct.
Nice. All right. So I'm going to just jump right in, man. I love the background there. And just hit you with the questions, like we said, we'll just wing it and just have fun. So why don't you just start by telling me kind of your story, kind of your 30-second elevator pitch, if you will.
Wow. Yeah. I'm a real estate investor. That's my thing.
Okay.
And, I host a networking group. I'm all about building relationships and connecting people.
Okay.
Real estate's about relationships. It's about the people. You can't do that business on your own.
Right.
I grew up as a kid that stuttered. I was picked on and bullied. I wasn't included in things as a kid growing up.
Okay.
I realized that in order to stop the bullying, that I had to become an athlete because people don't pick on athletes.
Right.
And so, but I ended up going to USC, got my business degree, worked hard to do the things I needed to do. I've been in the film industry, aerospace,
Okay.
Retail, banking, a number of different areas. My dad collected real estate when I was a kid.
Okay.
I've been around real estate since the age of 13. And as he got older and I got older, it came a point in time when we had to pass the baton.
Yeah.
And I started learning to take over commercial shopping centers and 35 doors.
Okay.
And all the things that go with it.
Wow.
I got into real estate investment a few years ago as far as purchasing an educational program.
Okay.
And one of the things that was mentioned to me is the importance of networking. And that's something I've done in the film industry. If you're working on the music video or commercial, as soon as that 2 or 3 day shoot's done, you're out of work.
Okay.
So you better be looking for work. You better be networking and building relationships.
It's the name of the game.
Yeah, so that's kind of come second nature to me. So,
okay.
I'm a real estate investor. I focus on networking. I focus on building relationships.
Okay.
It's part of who I am and part of what I've done my whole life.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, man. So tell me what is maybe the one thing that you wish you would have known when you got started?
Started, you mean like 3 years ago started, or
well, I don't know.
Years ago?
Years and years ago, or maybe a combination. I mean, you obviously have learned some stuff over time. I mean, what maybe is this one or maybe two things that you know now that you wish you would have known then?
Well, for the younger folks that are in their 20s, the young aspiring business people, in college, out of college, in their 20s, real estate is the way it's going to make your future.
Okay.
The planet has more and more people every year. The planet's not getting smaller in population.
Right.
And the planet's not growing more places to live. So real estate is always going to become a higher commodity. There are parts around the country, Texas, Tennessee, Ohio, all over the middle of the country.
Yeah.
They're saying, oh, we're growing. And people are coming from California out to our part of the country. Well, it's happening.
Yeah.
So, as far as young folks, real estate's the way to go.
Okay.
As far as people that are in an older age group,
my age group,
are wanting to maybe look towards securing their financial future, find some way to bolster their retirement, have that second source of income, whatever you do, whether it's stocks, whether it's crypto, whether it's real estate, none of these things you can do on your own.
Okay.
You need to have people to work with you. You have to have a network. And the thing that I would tell people is your network is your net worth.
Got it.
You need to network with intention. Networking is about relationships.
Yeah.
You do not chase the deal. You chase the relationship.
That's very interesting. How many people do you have in your networking group there, JJ?
Well, originally in 18 months, we grew to 2,800.
That's crazy. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I say originally because there was an outside entity that made a play for my group.
Gotcha.
And in order to not be an adversary, I thought it was in my best intention to maintain a good relationship that I closed the group.
Yep.
Part of their rationale was the group had been compromised with no way to validate that, but they'd also said that I didn't know the people in the group.
Okay.
I thought, you know what, you're right. They're right. I closed that group. I had to delete 2,800 people one by one to shut the group down.
Wow.
when I created the new group, I made sure I only added back people I knew personally.
That's incredible. It's
Now,
interesting. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
now, if someone, was introduced to me or someone came across my path or someone wanted to get to know me, something as simple as a friend request on Facebook,
Yeah.
I won't accept a friend request on Facebook or anyone to my group
Yeah.
unless I get on the phone, I talk to them,
Right.
because it's my friends. My friends. If someone reaches out to me,
Yeah.
my biggest pet peeve is someone sending me a friend request without a message. I'm like,
Gotcha.
who are you?
Yeah.
Where are
What's
you
going
coming
on?
from?
Right.
How do you know me? Why are you adding me?
It's interesting that you mentioned that, because we were talking just before I hit record there about how we connected, and I did reach out to you cold, but I did also have a message. I was explaining about my group and that, but here's my
Yeah.
point: is that you and I had such a great conversation. You invited me into your group, and it was nothing but love. I mean, all the people I was just clobbered with. And you also taught me, just even in just a short time that we've known each other, you taught me about gifts. You taught me about, just, making a presence, being memorable. And the people in your group, man, the interaction and the engagement just in just one or two, posts that I made, man, was fantastic. And so obviously they're learning all that stuff from you. I was super impressed. And then the value that you bring in, you've got like all kinds of seminars and webinars and all kinds of stuff going on there. I mean, it's incredible. So I applaud that, and I think it's great. So I'm glad that we met, sir.
Yeah, thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
Yeah.
My word for are you hearing that background noise?
A little bit. There's just one ding. It's okay. I think we're all right.
Okay, we'll keep running with it.
Yeah.
Let me just see here. Let me try and get this noise stopped. So my key word for 2020 was engagement for my
Okay.
group.
Yeah.
In order to build your business, people need to know who you are. If people don't know who you are, they can't like you, they can't know you.
Right. Sure. Makes sense.
People help people that they know, people help people that they like.
Right.
So it's important that we become visible.
Okay.
If we're not visible, we're invisible. And if we're invisible, opportunity walks right past us.
Makes sense.
And so, what I taught you in a couple minutes,
right,
was basically engagement. I'd say, I'm not here to promote my group, but if people wanted to learn about networking for real estate,
yeah,
and it's not just real estate, it's networking for business.
Right.
I just said reach out to me, but more so than that, develop the relationships with the people you encounter. I think one of the things I notice is I'll run into younger people that will say, hey, you want to be on my buyer's list? You want to buy this kind of property?
Right. Sure.
And I'll say, well, I'm really not into that kind of property. Okay, thanks, bye, see you later.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I could have helped you introduce you to 1,500 investors that very well may have been on your buyer's list, your seller's list, and
absolutely
business with. But if that person didn't look any further than who I was instead of what I could do for them, by not taking the time to get to know me.
Right. It's a huge mistake.
Yeah. So I tell everybody out there, everybody listening to your podcast, build your relationship, take the time to get to know folks.
Right. Makes all the difference. Makes all the difference. Now, and I do want you to I'm gonna give you an opportunity to give your information so people can reach out to you. But here's what I want to know. What is maybe the biggest failure that you've had in your career, and what did you learn from it?
Oh wow, the biggest failure in my career.
Yeah.
I would just say the biggest failure in my career would be not pursuing my dreams.
Okay.
When I was younger, and allowing other people to alter my dreams to satisfy their desires.
Got it.
Okay. So whatever your dreams are, stay with those dreams. Don't let your dreams go. Focus on them. You need to make your life become a reality. And it's completely up to you. It's up to nobody else.
Sure.
We need to choose our own path, and we need to stay with that path. And I think I'm in a long way coming around to my destined spot of helping other people. Getting more and more opportunities to speak to groups.
Okay.
Getting more opportunities to. I was randomly invited to a dinner Saturday night with a bunch of real estate investors, and I was meeting one person, and this young lady introduced me to 10 people. We all had dinner. Each
Nice.
of the people at this table are syndicating tens of millions of dollars to build their businesses.
Wow.
I was blown away. Uh, I'm nowhere near that. But when they found what I had to offer, which is
Yeah.
showing them how to grow their businesses, literally their jaws dropped to the floor. I've never even thought about all the things you're telling me right now.
Right. Right.
What's
Right.
happened now, I've developed relationships with 8 of the 10 people. 5 of them are going to be guest speakers on my weekly Zoom call.
Nice.
So by taking
Nice.
that opportunity to not just talk to people, but build relationships, there's a certain way I go about exchanging contact information
Yeah.
so that I become memorable.
Totally. And I think that's what made you memorable to me, because I reached out to you and you wouldn't even really accept my request or any of that without us having some type of a conversation and a discussion. And that of course led to a lot of other stuff, which is fantastic. So I'm listening to her, loud and clear. So here's another question. So what are some of maybe the best resources that you've used and that maybe have helped you the most along the way in your career that you can maybe bring on? I don't know, two, three best ones.
Yeah, for folks that are younger, stay with your education.
Okay.
I ended up going to college. I was fortunate to be able to go to college. I studied business. Um, I worked in aerospace shortly after, but then I went to work for Lowe's Home Improvement, retail entity. I worked for Bank of America, banking.
Okay.
I was in the film industry, working on set, picking up trash and serving coffee.
Wow. Okay.
Uh, yeah, I got to work with David Bowie, Cher, Madonna, among others. Janet Jackson. But my education has helped me every step of the way.
Okay.
I hear a lot of people saying college is overrated, just get into real estate. But when you learn how to read, college is in high school. It's not just a matter of what good is history going to do me, what good is math or science going to do me.
Yeah.
But they're training you. They're the repetitions, like Michael Jordan shooting baskets,
Right.
of learning how to study and learning how to develop those work habits and study habits that will help you through every aspect of your future.
Okay. Gotcha. It's
So
interesting. Yep. Go ahead.
yeah, so I would say education is one of the things that's really been huge.
Okay.
As I've gotten older, um, my time in the film industry, one job's over, you're unemployed.
Right.
Which is the same thing is going to apply to the real estate industry, is taking the time to honestly work at building relationships.
Okay.
Had exploded my film industry career.
Okay.
Has exploded my real estate career. Now I have so many people that I've come to know and know me.
Right.
Business is not about who you know, it's about who knows you.
And that's a big difference in that. There's a difference. Yes. Nice. Okay.
I have not only have I met coaches that want to speak for my Zoom call, but I'm building relationships with them.
Okay.
And now, because of the relationships I've built, they're bringing other coaches to speak to the group, where I'm now building additional relationships.
Okay.
And I'm not focusing on the speaking, I'm focusing on getting to know them. So what happens now is my friend base of knowledgeable, educated, qualified investors is just growing to the point where I've surrounded myself with phenomenal people. In your success, you will be the product of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And I've surrounded myself with successful people all around the country.
So speaking of those relationships, JJ, who do you think? I mean, maybe like just 2 or 3 of the most influential people that have influenced you the most, I guess, over your career. Who would those people be?
Well, one of them would be my uncle Ed from Boston.
Okay.
He's in the hospital right now. He's 87 years old, I believe.
Okay.
I love this man. He is one of the most successful people in the world that I've ever seen.
Okay.
Came from humble beginnings, got his engineering degree, was able to go to Harvard, get a business degree. He created one of the very first 401k companies in the country.
Wow.
And led that to just explode.
Okay.
But the thing I learned from him is the acronym KISS.
Okay.
Keep it simple, stupid. Keep your mouth shut.
Okay.
It's better to keep silent and have people think you're a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
Right. I've heard that.
You
I've
know,
heard that. Right.
just
Yeah.
listen and don't voice disagreement and criticism, because then it only brings disagreement and criticism back to you.
Okay.
What he's taught me is to be neutral, be Switzerland, and observe. And then a lot of the things that would deter our success just sort of flies right past us.
Okay.
So he's someone that taught me a lot, which is basically be reserved. As you become reserved, become resilient.
Nice. Nice.
So I learned a lot from him. Learned a lot from my dad. My dad was tough as nails.
Okay.
What he taught me to do was just to work hard. And I didn't understand it in my youth.
Okay.
I really didn't, but I was constantly given hurdles and challenges, not intentionally by him, but there were things that I just needed to consistently overcome so that I could become a better person. It's almost as though I spent my whole life trying to prove myself.
Okay.
But what I ended up proving was that I could do whatever I wanted to do.
Nice. Now, did you prove that to him or to you yourself or both?
Both. You know,
okay.
He had come down with congestive heart failure. He didn't even allow me to get into help with the real estate till about 7 years before he died.
Okay.
Actually, no. 3 years before I came home back to California 7 years because he needed help.
Okay.
And I get back to California, says, well, what do you need me to do? I don't need you to do anything. I don't need you. Go back to your job. I just moved 2,000 miles to be here for you. Now you don't need me.
Right.
Well, as time went on, his congestive heart failure got worse.
Okay.
And 3 years before he passed, he was really in bad shape. Had gotten to almost not quite to a walker. And I showed up one Monday morning. What are you doing here? I'm here to help you. No, I'm here to follow you.
Okay.
Just follow me where? So you want me to come home and help you run the business? You haven't shown me a thing. I'm going to follow you by watching, by learning, by osmosis. You go to the bank, you go to City Hall, you go to the contractors, the tenants, the tax guy. I'm going to follow you. He says, yeah, we'll see how that works. Well, within a short period of time, he started sending me to these errands.
Nice.
Started to delegate things to me.
Okay.
And 3 months before he passed, he was basically in a wheelchair. He could walk, but I wheeled him through the house and took him to the doctor one day, wheelchair to the car, in the car to the doctor, wheelchair in and out of the doctor. He said, let's go to lunch. Only time in our life we went to lunch.
Wow. Okay.
Only time in our life we went to lunch. And we sat down, we ordered, and he turns to me and he says, I need to apologize to you for being so mean to you your entire life.
Wow.
And I turned to him, I said, Dad, you don't need to apologize. I said, what you did was you raised the bar. You made me a better person. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a drug addict. I'm not a felon. People like me. Dogs like me. Kids like me. You know, you made me a better person by raising the bar. I need to apologize to you by not following your lead earlier at a younger age. So we were able to heal our wound 3 months before he passed.
That's incredible, man. Now, do you have any siblings, JJ?
I have a younger brother.
Okay. Is he in real estate or entrepreneur or?
Kind of both. He's he worked for a property management firm in Santa Barbara. He's recently retired.
Okay.
We have completely different philosophies on people and real estate.
Gotcha.
I invest money into the buildings to put in new HVAC units for the clients or for my tenants.
Yeah.
So they have heat in the winter, they have AC in the summer, which means their businesses can run more efficiently.
Sure.
I believe in knowing my tenants and having a relationship with them so they take better care of my property.
Which makes sense. Total sense.
Yeah. My brother's perspective is kind of like my dad's was. Slumlord, don't take care of don't spend money on the property.
Yeah.
Avoid the tenants, let someone else interface with them. I have a great deal of loyalty from my tenants because they know I'm concerned about taking care of their families and their well-being by making sure their properties are well cared for. And you know, when you focus on the relationship, only good things can come.
Oh, totally. You know, it's interesting. And what I really love about you and what I'm really excited about, you know, why I met you is because early in my career, so I've been involved in real estate probably 29 years. Okay. Early in my career, it was all about the people and the relationships. started making more money, then it became about the money and it wasn't about the relationships. And so I had a lot of failures, but I made a lot of money, but also lost, messed up a lot of relationships. But then, over recent years, I would say probably 3, 4, 5 years, I've changed that. And I'm so grateful that I'm still young enough to have an opportunity to come back, to realize where I messed up and say, hey, you know what, it is about the relationships and having an opportunity to do something where I can connect with people like you and just meet people and help people, because I'm realizing that's where the money's going to come. It's going to come. It's like who's that said that? I think it was Zig Ziglar. You get all that you want out of life by helping as many people as you can. Help them to get what they want. So anyway, I really appreciate that about you, and that really rings loudly in you. I mean, the relationships, and I love that. So let me ask you this, JJ. What if you were in my shoes right now? What would you ask you? I mean, what am I missing? What should I be asking that might be that I'm missing out on?
Well, I would ask you, what is your goal? What is your focus? Where do you want to go? What's your desire?
Okay, so
I mean, if I know that, then I would better answer that question as far as what's missing.
I see. So I'm just saying that if you were trying to get, you were me and you're trying to get to know you the person. So I'm asking you a few questions here, but I may not be asking questions that maybe will reveal what I really should know about you or what you really want to tell other people. So I guess I'm really just trying to find out, what else can you tell me about you and what you do that other people would be interested in learning about that I haven't asked about. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, well, we've covered part of it,
Okay.
whether it's myself or anyone else you're interviewing.
Yeah.
It's not even the interview, but it's building a relationship. It's getting to know that person.
Okay.
And we've taken some amount of time here to do that. As a kid, I said I stuttered. I had been picked on for years.
Sure.
I learned that through sports that I could become someone that you recognize athletes almost as warriors when you're in the younger school years of junior high and high school.
Okay.
You don't mess with the guy on the football team.
Right. Absolutely. Right.
That kind of thing. And but I think the other things about myself that I think make me a little bit different. My mother, I was so close to my mom. She passed away a year ago next month.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
February. But she made sure I took piano lessons. She made sure I was exposed to the arts.
Okay.
As kids, we actually were fortunate enough to go to Europe when I was 12, and we went to Paris and London and Rome, and we saw things. And
okay.
So much time I've ever been to Europe was because of my mom. But I think she made sure that I was developed in many other areas. I think as an individual, I'm very analytical, number oriented, statistics, finance to some extent, but on the other side, I'm people oriented. So I've got this balance, which is kind of almost unusual.
Well, sure.
I go back to the film industry.
Okay.
I walked in there the first, I didn't really know what to do, but eventually, as you get onto a film set, you learn a couple things: how to be invisible,
okay,
but how to be of maximum benefit.
Got it.
And so that means that you're learning all the different aspects of what's going on and who all the people are.
Sure.
So, for anybody, whatever you're doing, learn all the different aspects. You don't have to master them, but learn how they interact. And then within your environment, learn who the players are.
Okay.
And then get to know those players. And again, it gets back to developing the relationships, because again, it's not who you know, but who knows you. But they need to know you because you're making the effort, and not just the effort to work hard or get to know them, but get to know you.
Yeah.
For example, as people get to network with others, those people should know you for your heart, the things your kids love about you, your grandparents love about you,
right?
Siblings, your cousins, your friends from high school.
Sure.
It's about building rapport when it comes to building relationships.
Okay.
And when you develop rapport, it goes twofold. One, you want to talk about the basic acronyms of Ford, like the automobile: family,
okay, nice,
occupation,
okay,
recreation, and dreams. And talk to someone to get to know a little bit about that. We've talked about my family, my mom and my dad and my brother.
Yeah.
We've talked about my occupation through the film industry and aerospace and real estate.
Yeah.
Recreation of my activity in sports.
Okay.
You know, I've actually I had a horse at one point in time, and it was a couple of years after my best friend, who was my younger brother, had died tragically at the age of 19, and I questioned the existence of where we're at.
Sure.
And I rode horses as a kid, and I had an opportunity at the age of about 35 to get a very young quarter horse, 2.5 years old.
Okay.
Can't even ride a horse till they're 3. So I trained this horse. I walked him like a dog on trail till he's big enough to be ridden. But I trained him. I broke him in myself. We competed in different sorts of cutting and sorting events, which is just basically chasing cattle and working as a team.
Okay.
But though that was my recreation.
Gotcha.
You know, I've been into country western dance. I've taught dancing as well as teaching Little League. So those are my recreations of working with kids and coaching baseball. You know, teaching dance to couples and individuals in a not line dancing, but couple dancing in the country western environment.
Okay.
You know, and then dreams. You know, my dream one day to leave Los Angeles and ideally have a large piece of land so big that I can't see from one end to the other. And my dogs and my horses have plenty of room to run about, travel around the world.
Okay.
So those are some of my dreams.
That's fantastic.
When one networks, when one builds relationships, when you get to know other people, as you and I have more conversations together,
Absolutely.
you and I, we're going to focus on Ford. I want to know about your family. I want to know about your recreations. I want to know about your occupation. I want to know about your dreams, because that's how I'm going to get to know Rufus.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense. Just out of curiosity, how much land is it that you wouldn't be able to see the other side? Is that a couple hundred acres? 1,000 acres? How much land? Just out of curiosity.
I like to, North America. No, I can't. You know, I live in North Hollywood, California. I grew up in the Hollywood Hills. That's the sign behind me.
Yeah.
I live on a lot now, basic residential lots, about just sort of 8,000 square feet. And,
okay.
You know, 2+1 house, 3+2 if you count a couple little additions.
Yeah.
But I like to have, gosh, if I could have 10 acres somewhere, that'd be great.
Nice. Yeah, nice. So
yeah, I'd be happy with 1 acre.
Yeah, but you'll take 10, right?
I'll take 10.
So before I ask the last question, JJ, how do people, if they want to connect with you, how can they reach out to you? How do they get you?
Well, I just recently created a website called jjazizian.com.
Okay.
And they could go to that website, and there's a link for my YouTube channel with all the recordings of the guest speakers. Okay. And I'd love to have you come speak on my call sometime.
Sure, I'd love to.
I've probably got, you know, close to 80 recordings of YouTube presentations.
Nice.
I've got a networking group that real estate investors can click to join that group, but they'd also, there's a little gold thing that says click this box to register for the group.
Okay.
This page is a page in the works, but when you go to the page, there should be my face somewhere where they could click and get my Facebook page and send me a message.
Sure.
You know, and I say for anybody, when you're sending someone a friend request, also send them a message. Now, they don't have to request me, but at least, you know, that would be the best way to reach out to me, would be via Facebook with a Facebook message.
Nice. Makes sense.
You know,
okay.
JJ, the two J's.
Okay.
And then spelling my last name, 7 letters, Azizian, AZIZIAN. So it's good. jjazizian.com.
Okay. Nice. So final question, sir, and I appreciate your time. I've been enjoying this, and I do want to have more conversations. I love the
we will.
Yeah. So what is like so this is a little background. I feel like most real estate investors mistakenly think that they are in the real estate business. Sounds like they're probably in the relationship business. What I see them as is in the marketing business, which obviously is relationship. So from my perspective, what would you say is maybe your best marketing tip for our listeners? What would be maybe the best? And and maybe it's relationship building. We've talked about that. I mean, that's in your blood, obviously. But yeah, if that's it, cool. But I'm just curious. What would you say is your best marketing tip?
Well, let's say someone's a real estate investor. So whether you're a broker, whether you're an agent, whether you're owning an LLC, over time, that person may go from one brokerage to another.
Gotcha.
They may have one LLC and then they change direction. They get another LLC and another LLC. And the people that do business with you, they're not going to, gee, what company is he with now?
Okay.
Right. You don't market your business when it comes to marketing. You market yourself.
Gotcha. Okay. Nice. Very smart. Well, that makes sense because, like you said, if you're building a relationship with these people, they're following you, they're buying you. So, that's what you need to market. Nice.
Well, yeah. And any kind of business you do, your success is going to be completely predicated upon the people that you work with, you get to know, you develop relationships, and then believe in you. So you got to have it on the inside to be a good person, because if you're not, then people aren't going to believe in you.
Well, right, because they can read that. Well, good. Well, listen, JJ, man, I've taken a ton of your time. I know you're busy changing the world, buying real estate, but I appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk with me. And I'm looking forward to us talking more. But thanks, my friend, and yeah, so I appreciate your time. I need to get one of those fancy Hollywood Hills things behind me so I could look like you.
We'll get you one. We'll definitely get you one.
All right, sounds good, man. Well, thanks again for your time, and we'll talk to you real soon. Okay.
Thank you, Rufus. Looking forward to it.
Bye. Take care. Bye-bye.